Good morning.
Good morning, Jay. How are you?
Who's first?
Jay, you said on Tuesday that Chase was in good shape. He was great, and then he wasn't out there yesterday. What's the prognosis? Why wasn't he on the field for training
Chase?
camp? Chase, yes.
Yeah, after the conditioning test, we decided to further review, just give him a couple more days to get acclimated. May hold him out through the weekend, start him next week. We'll see how it goes. No, I just hold him out. This is the first work he's done in a while, so we just want to make sure he's ready to go. Work him on the side with the trainers a little bit.
Josh Woodrum's a little bit outside of the quarterback picture looking in. Where do you kind of see his fit on this team?
Who?
Josh Woodrum.
Oh, Josh is doing good. I think it's a great opportunity for him, to take advantage of the little bit of reps that he does get. I know it's hard to get him in there sometimes, but he's got to be ready to go. He's going to get some action in preseason games for sure, showcase his skills, what he's all about. But I've been impressed with him throughout the OTAs. Like I said, some of these guys, they just have to take the reps when they can get them and take advantage of them, and then wait in the preseason games and then really showcase what they can do.
Jay, obviously Darius Geis and Adrian Peterson are competing for carries and all that, but what is the benefit of having Adrian here for a guy like Darius after he went through the same kind of ACL injury as him and just kind of the experience Adrian has?
I think it's anytime you have a future Hall of Famer on your roster and see how they've taken care of their bodies over the course of time, like Adrian has, it's a great example for these young backs because we all understand that running back position, the longevity isn't very great. Isn't very long, I should say. So watch Adrian and watch the way he works in the offseason, prepares, keeps his body right. Is just great example for not just Darius but the whole entire team.
Have you had your meeting with Donald Penn yet? Have you guys
I haven't
seen
met with him, no.
Is he coming in today? Is that?
He came in last night, I think. We'll probably just get a little brief workout just to see where he's at.
Is the intent to try him out, to sign him potentially?
Talk to him, see where he's at physically. Just, we'll have workouts throughout the course of the season with guys and keep them on a hot list just in case something happens.
Obviously, this is of particular interest because of Trent. Where does this fit in with that situation?
It's not so much because of Trent. Well, Jerron, we're keeping out a little bit as well, so we're short tackles now. So we need another tackle, and the young tackles out there, really, there aren't very many of them out there, so you might have to go the veteran route, talk to a few guys. There's a few other guys we might talk to here in the future, just for the depth-wise. Right now we're at 12 offensive linemen that are practicing, and that's way too short right now in training camp.
I'm sure you've addressed this already, but with Jerron, what was that injury and how long are you thinking?
Same thing. After the conditioning test, we just wanted to make sure we held him out just a little bit longer, get him with the strength staff a little bit longer, get him with the training staff just a little bit longer. No rush right now. We got to get him in there soon, but we want to make sure he's physically ready to go. And he's very, very close. I anticipate the weekend he'll be ready.
Before I finish hogging the microphone, in Morgan Moses in his first year made a big leap, first year to second year. Do you get the sense Jerron's a guy who's capable of that, and what have you seen from him this offseason?
Morgan had a chance to play and practice the entire year. He played behind. He had to make the move from left tackle in college. He played left tackle for 3 years. Had to make the transition to the right side the first year. We had Columbus that first year, and he made that transition, waited his turn, and then took advantage of his time. But he's able to practice. John now, he got hurt. He got training camp, and he got a little bit of work early, and then he got hurt. I think it was Tampa Bay. So missed some considerable amount of time there and then recovered from the injury. We'll see where he's at. But we want to make sure that he's got full strength, mobility, change of direction, can handle the power once we get the pads on before we put him out there. But I anticipate him making a jump, confidence level in the system, all that.
Jay, what do you like about Landon Collins that he's able to bring to the team on the field and in the locker room?
I don't know what he brings in the locker room. I'm not back there. I try not to go back there, but I think it's well documented that he's a good leader. Fits right in with the defense, but on the field, obviously it's the it's the mentality that he brings. He's a tough physical football player. And anytime you can add a tough physical football player to your team, it's great. And, he's been labeled as a box safety, but we put him out in the post yesterday a couple times. He made some great plays, showed great range yesterday. So I don't think that label's necessarily true. We love him in the box making tackles, but I think he can get out there and cover and make some plays all over the place. So I've been impressed throughout the OTAs and now, the first day with Landon, not only his play ability, but his leadership ability.
Jay, we saw that Bostic was at Mike yesterday calling the defense. Is that how you plan to go forward with him calling it and Sean Dion playing Mo, and what goes into that decision to align your two inside guys that way?
Yeah, I think That'll change. That can always change. Sean Dion understands it right now, but I think challenging Bostic right now with the microphone and getting used to calling it. He's been in the system before at Indianapolis, so he understands it and knows it. Very smart, very, very smart football player. So I think his communication skills, he's done a little bit longer than Sean Dion has, so right now Bostic is a natural fit.
What's the difference in those positions besides calling the play?
What's what?
The difference in those two positions besides
Not a
just
lot.
calling
Lineman
the play?
assignment, some of them have to handle the motions and get outside a little bit, but not a whole lot. Just alignment and assignment.
Coach Gruden, how would you assess the young How would you assess the young receivers? Their first practice, McLaurin and Harmon. How do you think those guys did yesterday?
Very good. I've been impressed with them the entire time. Obviously, it's only one day, but we've had a chance to see them throughout the rookie mini camp and mandatory camp. I've been very impressed with not only their playability, but their mental ability and their toughness. And it's the little things that they both do, especially Terry. Terry is very unselfish. If you watch him at Ohio State, he's one of the best blockers in college football. He's on special teams, the best special team player. We ran a screen the other day. He blocked the corner for about 7 seconds. I mean, he just does things like that don't show up on tape or on a stat sheet that really excite you. And same thing with Harmon. So those guys have been very, very good. Very impressed with them.
Jay, Jimmy Moreland and OTH, you call him the mouse in the house, 4 picks, but it's
5.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, so there was a fit. Did not see that one. My apologies there. But he's also going to be a factor, I figure, for special teams, punt return, kick return. What does he got to do to solidify that spot, potentially get those starting minutes?
I think the most important thing for him, when you talk about a guy with that size, we got to see physicality, how he tackles. That's the biggest thing. If you can't tackle, you can't play. But I don't have any doubt that he can tackle. But we'll see. It's different tackling at JMU than it is out here on Sundays with some of these big backs and tight ends and receivers. So with all these guys, it's change of direction, one-on-one drills, 7-on-7. It's all great to see them where they are fundamentally if they're handling their assignments right and breaking on the football, making plays. But when the real football comes in the preseason, that's why we need some of these games to see how they can tackle.
Jay, we talked a lot about quarterbacks, but what pressure, if any, do you feel, whether from internally or whatever, to get Dwayne ready for week 1?
I don't feel any pressure at all. I feel pressure to play the best guy. That's all I care about right now. I know that all 4 of them, we mentioned Josh as well, give us a chance. So it's interesting, man. It's actually fun. These guys are competing. They're doing well mentally and physically. They're making throws. Some of them are making a few mistakes. But I think the most important thing, like I mentioned before, is who's the most consistent, the most accurate, and who does the best in the move the ball periods and some of the team settings.
Jay, over here, sorry. Whether it's Donald Penn or not, do you anticipate that by the end of camp or before the start of the season you'll have a veteran tackle in here, if only to play the Inseki role this year?
I hope so. A lot depends on where Jerron's at. We got to get him up to speed, see where he's at physically. If he feel like he can handle it, and then obviously Eric Flowers, then some of the young guys on the inside part of it. With Wes Martin, and Zach and some of these other guys. So we're trying to, obviously in training camp, you try to get these guys schooled up multiple positions, because when you dress 7 on game day, some guy might have to play tackle and guard and center, but at the end of the day, we would like to have a solid 5 offensive linemen that we know who are playing where on the first play of the game. Right now, we don't have that at this time, but we'll get there. But I do anticipate probably bringing another veteran guy in here at some point.
What are you looking for from Trey Quinn as he kind of transitions into a bigger role, especially with the fact, he was banged up all last year and only played 3 games, so an opportunity for a much bigger role, but still a guy with not a ton of experience.
Yeah, I expect him to really take advantage of the inside receiver role, but he can play outside and base as well, so he's a very versatile player. But we just have to get him the ball and see how he does, just like all these other guys. He's got to take advantage of the routes when they're given to him, and when the progression takes it to him, he's got to make the plays and get some separation. With Jordan in here and Chris Thompson and Terry and obviously Paul and Josh Doxson, some of these other guys, we spread the ball around. It's a progression-based offense. Sometimes it's a single high, 2 high safety reads. Sometimes it's different ways to get different people the ball. But when it's time to catch the ball, he's got to make the play and get the separation. And I think he has shown that ability the times that we've had him here.
There was a play yesterday where the line jumped and you said something that it wasn't necessarily on them, it was on the quarterback. Dwayne was the quarterback on that play. Just kind of where is he with calling out line progressions, and how has he kind of advanced through camp to now?
Yeah, he's doing better. He's going to have his hiccups here and there, as Case did when he first started here with this system. You have new terminology, new systems, different ways of changing the snap count. The most important thing, we got to work on our snap count, whether you're a rookie or a veteran. Snap count is critical. When you go to Philadelphia and you play week 1 and Brandon Graham has your snap count, it's not pretty. So we got to make sure we change up the snap count, both the silent counts, and be able to change plays and try to get an advantage for the offense. And the way you can do that is using a snap count. So that's something that's a work in progress. It will be. It always will be.
Is that his biggest hurdle right now, or
snap count?
Yeah.
No. I sure hope not. All right.